Okay, we'll try this again. What's up, everybody? This is the Lazy Farmer. My name is Kurt H, and this is take 2 of this video. I set up a whole new. You can see, I mean, it's got a little different look. I'm trying to do something a little bit different for each type of game or simulator that I'm going to play. And I just forgot when I created this new scene collection that I forgot to set the video rate right, and I use the auto configuration. So hopefully we should be good now, guys. So we're in Trainz 2022. It's brand new. It's on Steam. It's on sale right now too. It's normally like, what was it? What was it, like $60 or something like that? It's now down to like $9.99, and then the savings is big enough that there's a 14 additional pieces, like some cars and some roads that you can get. A lot of content for Trainz, a lot of content. It's all purchasable, just like on Run8. Everything, all the DLCs are, you have to spend some money on them. The DLCs, there's a plethora on Steam, and on average, they're all just right about 50% off right now. So good sale on Trainz 2022. So if you like this content and you like what you see, I would go check it out. So anyway, we should be moving a little bit better here, and we're going to be going into, and what like the title suggests, we're going to go ahead and we're in with the tutorials. I played around with this a little bit, and I realized I needed to run the tutorials. So we're going to do that for the next couple of hours before I have to. Now, I pretty much don't have enough time. I'm going to set my timer for 2 hours, because that's usually what I want to do my streams at, but I may end up leaving a little bit earlier depending on the time frame, because I do have to work this afternoon. All right, so let's just jump right on into it. So we're going to be doing the driver. We got, so driver, surveyor, my collection, search view, download, rolling stock, and there's all different kinds of rolling stock. And for my buddy out there, Hank, there is some DLCs for Norfolk Southern. I've seen CSX on here while I'm playing around already. Of course, you're going to go into the driver surveyor. We're going to go down to, not going to look at routes, we're going to look at tutorials. And of course, for the first one we're going to look at is, hey, right here, Southern Pacific. Oh my gosh, that just hit right to my heart. Like I said, you know, the old SD9s. I grew up watching those. So, and pretty much, these are the pictures. You get to take a look at what's in this tutorial. Let's just go right to it. Double click on it. So, pretty basic stuff here in this first tutorial. We're going to try to blow through it as fast as we possibly can. Get as much content in. So, hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's got some plans. Oh my God, my neighbor, poor guy, went out to Pismo Beach and with his toy hauler, and they had some pretty bad waves. You can find it on, if you look up Pismo Beach, California, and there's news out there. They had a storm surge came in, and I guess wherever he parked, he was pretty close to the beach, and he's got a dune buggy and everything, and they go dune buggying out there, and yeah, his trailer and his truck got pulled out into the ocean. Poor guy. All right, so camera. We're going to talk here the camera menu. This is the little tooltip we're going to be following right here. The camera menu is one of the menus in the top left corner, right there. So it displays a list of available camera modes. So if you click on it, you get a whole list right here that you can play with. From the camera menu, click cab or press number 1 in the row that goes above all the QWERTY keys on your keyboard. So we're going to hit that number 1, and we're inside the cab. Looking good. I like it. Hold down the right mouse button. You kind of pan around, take a look at everything. I don't know if these things, I don't think any of this stuff is, you can play with any of this stuff, but not unlike Run8, you can kind of flip switches. Not so much here, it's already done for you. Like all these are in the off position, so this thing shouldn't even be, honestly, yeah, you can't flip them, so it just, can you do this? Can you move? No, can't move that, so it's all done by keyboard. Alright, use right mouse button, move, scroll, mouse to scroll. Okay, when we're ready, open the camera menu and select chase or press 2. So let's open the camera menu, we're going to click chase, and this is the original view we came in on. We can hold the right mouse button down and scroll around, orbit around the vehicle. From the camera menu, wants us to click 3 or click line side in the menu or hit the number 3 button. So we got a camera here focusing on whatever car you're focusing on as it drives by, you get to watch it drive by. Okay, and then number 4. And this is the roaming view. We can look anywhere we want. Right mouse button pulls up the compass that you just saw flash there. And then the left and right arrow keys, we're going to rotate around that spot on the compass. So if we set it over here, we're going to rotate around that. Sit go. All right. So then we're going to go back to map. And wherever our cursor is, it goes, they use right mouse button in center position. So wherever our cursor happens to be, if we click right mouse button, it's going to move the map. And I guess this is how you move the map. I was trying to move the map by holding the mouse button and dragging, but no. This I find very interesting. So all this, and then here they labeled this. So whoever made this map is must be living very close or know about this area here, because the YVRR Merced, that's Yosemite Valley Railroad, and there used to be, Merced's very close to where I live, and there used to be a railroad that tied into the Union Pacific lines, or actually the Santa Fe lines. I'm sorry, not Union Pacific, Santa Fe lines. And it was basically it was a train that took passengers along what is now considered, I think, Highway 140 into the Yosemite Valley and back again. And also did freight along that way, because there's a bunch of cities, little tiny towns that go out there. In some places, the tracks are gone now. Everything's gone. The industry that's closest to Merced was a cement plant. That cement plant is all derelict, but you can see where the roadbed was, and as you drive along 140, you can see evidence of where the train might have been at one time. So, but I saw this, and I went, wow, okay. So I don't know what they're trying to model here, but the fact that they put that in, okay, I'm kind of excited by it. Use right mouse button center position scroll, or use the on-screen buttons to zoom. The on-screen buttons to zoom. Oh, over here. I'm like, where are they? They're over here. But they're not working. Clicking on them. Or I just use the scroll. Then the nice thing is you scroll in. Oh. So this might be somebody's idea. And that's the thing about Trainz, is that you build, basically you build your model railroad with this. That's the whole idea behind Trainz. And there's a great YouTube video out there on the history of Trainz and how it started and why it started. And it really was, they wanted something that you could design a railroad, or your model railroad with, and then it kind of morphed into, well, let's go ahead and let people run their trains on their model railroad. And then it turned into this, where we kind of, through just progression, turned into what we have now, so we can actually design our own layout and run trains. And there's another video out there I caught where you could take, on this baseboard, you could take a satellite view from Google Maps, overlay it on the baseboard, and then actually model out the railroad and all the industries that as it appeared on Google Maps. So a lot of things that you can do with that. We'll get into that later. Today it's about the tutorials. So, all right. So anyway, use right mouse button to center position, mouse scroll. Okay, then go back to number 2, the chase. We're going to go back to the locomotives. There it comes as everything reses in. All right. The speed control is on the bottom right of the screen. Rotate the dial using your mouse or with the W and X keys, which I think I was talking about before I was having a problem with OBS. It wasn't YouTube, it was OBS. That it's, I want to remap that, and I'll do that. It says WX, so I want to keep the WASD keys normal. So W would be forward, S would be back, is how I would like it. But the way it's not, it's W is forward, and then X pardon me, X is reverse and S is stop. So, which is right in the middle of the A and the D keys and the W and the X keys. But I think I would rather use X, because actually I'm going to be use X to stop and use W and S, because it seems more natural that way. As you actually run a locomotive anyway, you're not going to stop instantly. You don't want to. You have those options like Run8 Resources to stop instantly, but I don't want that to happen. I want to be, because I noticed one thing as I was goofing around, you get little flags down here, or little notifications down here that you're actually rough handling the train. So like we always say, hey, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. And when it comes to railroading, nothing is fast. Wait a minute, is it? Okay. Alright, so those aren't turning. I noticed too, I was running a train, depending on how fast I was going, these fans, you'd actually see the fans in here start to turn. That kind of stuff gets exciting when I see that. Alright, so we're going to turn the dial. So the dial down here is like the controller on a DCC controller, a little dial. And we can either drag with the mouse, hold down the left mouse button, and just drag it, or we can use the W key, which increments up in steps of 5%, and then decreases by hitting the X, same thing, by 5%. And see, I did too fast, and so I got the little rough handling notification right there. So we're going to go ahead and turn the dial clockwise, move a train forward. We're going to move the train forward here. Sounds okay. I like the sounds that they have. Horn, I didn't like. So I don't know if there's an option to change horn sounds. If there is, we'll look into that. We'll discover it. We'll see what happens. So right now we're in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. We're driving about 4 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and increase. 8, 9, 10. Alright, let's back up a little bit. We're going to do about, see, rough handle, I did 5% by hitting the X key, and it came up with a rough handling. Alright, so I hit the waypoint, and then of course we got the red symbol up there to stop. We want to stop on there. Oh, turntable. There is a turntable right there. Alright. Looks like I got the little icons right there. Looks like the turntable's usable. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's the crane moving. I saw that shadow earlier. Cool. I like cars moving, cranes moving. So, I mean, I like that. There's life on the map. There's life on the map. Hovering over that. That's what that arrows were. Hovering over this. The turntable. I still got the rough handling notification. Congratulations, you completed this tutorial. If you would like to learn more about easy mode operations, you can find an extended reference. So there is a wiki. There is a huge wiki for Trainz. I'm not sure I like the way it's laid out, but it is what it is. So I think I'm gonna bring my iPad with me when I go to the basketball today, and I'll probably be in the wiki reading a bunch of stuff. Click the check mark below to end this session. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Oh, we got a score here. Let's see what we got. 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. Oh, we got 5 stars for that one. Nice. A perfect run. You have achieved a rating of 5 stars. What does that mean? It means I get to make myself another cup of coffee is what that means. Let's go to the next tutorial. All right, so it's going to load up a new tutorial here. It's interesting. You click on it. You click on a locomotive, and they get a little different face down there in the lower left-hand corner. There was a guy that showed up. I swear he was part of the Walking Dead. I don't know where they got the picture of who drew him, but yeah. All right, selecting a path. Okay, this is pretty cool. All right, so mouse over to the turnout ahead to reveal its overlay. Overlays can be toggled on the display menu at upper left or by pressing Control H. So if I do Control H, left Control H, okay, so that turned on here where it says junction 837. I'll do Control H again to go away, and it goes turn on overlay. This overlays can be toggled in the display menu in the upper left. Display menu. Alright. Junction overlays. Boom! There it is. So they're called junctions. So turnouts. This is also an Australian-made game, so it says junction overlays. Of course, you know, for US, I think it says Rocky Mountain, or Rocky Mountaineer. I would maybe say turnouts. I don't know, but it says junction overlay. Maybe even our here they call them junctions. I don't know. So anyway, okay. So click the overlay or press J to switch the turnout ahead of you. So I need to switch the turnout, and of course you just hover on it and it pops up. Switch the turnout. Okay. Proceed forward. Prepare to stop. Up ahead. Start your train. Well, it's already running. It's already started. Got red over yellow, so that is a medium clear for the diverging. No faster than 30 miles an hour is what is said in these tutorials. I tend to do at least half the speed of what track speed is. So, but we're also on a passenger train, so we're going to start out slow. We don't want people tumbling. Just slowly bring the speed up to about at least 10 miles an hour. Here we go. 10, 12. It was moving pretty good. Alright, so proceed forward, prepare to stop, up ahead, so we're going to start reducing speed. I'm looking right above the dial here. I don't want to get a rough handling. We get down to 5 miles an hour. It hits 0. I hit S to stop that to 0. Okay. Once the turnout is in the rear of your train, you can switch it by pressing Control J. Control J. Oh, okay. So Control H. Is it Control J? Oh no, it's up there. Okay. There's the junction. It's locked. I notice it's got a little lock up there. So, okay, so Control J just switches that back to on the main line. So, okay, I got you. I got you. I got what you're throwing down. Okay. You can now proceed forward, prepare to stop at the red signal. So let's go ahead, start your train forward again. So low, slow start. We don't want people tumbling. Yeah, almost like I know. I wonder if you could actually get a DCC controller or something like that. Oh. I just had an epiphany. What if instead of a rail driver, if I could get an actual DCC controller style, like in other words, for a model railroad controller, handheld controller, get something like that that would interface with the computer. Oh, that all of a sudden, if there's something out there like that, I think for my train simulators, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'll just sit back, I can put my feet up and run my trains. Oh, that would be. Now, somebody was actually saying that they use a Steam Deck, which I could kind of see that too. But if I literally could get, oh yeah, come on, all right, come to a stop, no rough handling. That. All right, switch junction SJ02. Okay, tutorials can also be switched. Turnouts can also be switched in map view. All right, remember you can select map view from the camera menu or pressing enter map view. Okay. And then junction SJ02 is right here. Okay, so I'm going to right click the center, which I don't need to. And map view, okay, in map view, turnouts can be selected, switch junction on map view. Okay, I'm gonna go scroll in. Scroll back out. Okay, I can see, you know what? I can see there's the green and the red arrows. It's now switched. Okay. So we'll hit M to get out of map view. Oh, okay. Come on. How about if I do 2? Oh, now I'm scrolled way out. Interesting. 1, 2. Interesting how it does that. Okay, that might be a problem. All right, switched. Proceed to the passenger depot. I got a green light. So Steam Deck, someone they use their Steam Deck to control their trains, and I'm like, that could work. But what's up, Hank? How you doing? Afternoon, well, morning here. So I don't know if you caught what I was throwing down earlier, but man, the Jaggies are gone, and it was a brand new monitor. I went to a 4K monitor, and even Run8 looks phenomenal. It really does. And I did purchase Run8 news, guys. I purchased the new car pack that had come out, and I purchased the new DLC for the South something or other, whatever for the, but so basically I'm back to 100% again on the DLCs. But anyway, okay, let's move up. Yeah, if I, instead of using a Steam Deck, I would really wonder how hard it would be. Now I know that the interface controllers go to a main box that connects to the model railroad. But I'm wondering if somebody out there has come up with one, like a DCC style controller that I can sit there and hold in my hand and flip the switches and do everything that I need to do, as opposed to a rail driver. That would be exciting. That would be absolutely exciting. Oh yeah, I did. Oh my gosh. Well, the thing about it is, it's not that old. I've had it for I have had it for a while, but it's not that old. I just thought that it was an HD monitor, and apparently it wasn't. So I dropped the bills. I mean, the 4K monitor, especially here at the holidays and stuff, the 4K monitors are down in price. So I went to Best Buy, and congratulations, I completed this tutorial. On to the next. How much time I got left? Quite a bit. So, alright, we're going to click on that. What's my score? But yeah, I went to, oh my goodness, yeah, I put the 4K on, and Run 8 looks amazing. Now, I still think that, like with Railroader, looks amazing. Here with Trainz, looks amazing. Run 8 might want to think of investing some new assets. And I think that they're limiting themselves, and I'm putting this out there. I think they need to put Run 8 on Steam to get bigger audience, and give us the ability to make routes like what you can do here in Trainz. Because I would be down for, okay, they stopped at Fresno at the Cowboy Yard. I can go ahead and come up with the 2 subdivisions that, I think it's 2 or 3 subdivisions that are between Calowa and Roseville, and then send them to Run 8 and go, here you go guys, what do you think? Let them approve it and then put them out. So I don't know, just me, I'm just talking. Alright, next tutorial. So, but yeah, the jack, in fact, yeah, when I actually went to, well, first I went to Selkirk Yard, and just like jaw drop, wow, looked amazing. Then I went over to the NS, the Eastern, Pennsylvania one, and looked at that, amazing. So, and then like I said, then with this one, this looks amazing on my monitor, on this monitor, and with the price drop on Steam for Trainz, yeah, it was a no-brainer. I mean, it was down for the Platinum Edition at one point. It was like almost $70. I think it was down to like $29, 75% off. And then there was a bundle pack with 14 DLCs, and add the bundle pack, that had a price reduction. It was down to $8.99. But even with both those combined, it was still cheaper than buying the Trainz Platinum Edition just a couple of weeks ago, when I was first looking at it and decided to pull the trigger on it. So that became a no-brainer. And then right now there's a lot of DLCs that are, the average is about 50% off, and there's some models of the Norfolk Southern locomotives, and then there's a lot of routes. So I'm not too much interested in European routes, so if you're from Europe, I'm sorry. I'm not going to discount it, but yeah, I'm going to be looking for routes that are in and around my area, or the area of the same operations that I'm trying to do over on Run 8. That's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, so let's get back to our tutorial here. Moving freight to where it needs usually requires some switching. Most likely, yeah. First, you'll be moving the boxcar at the warehouse over to the passenger station. Click the check mark when you are ready to continue. I think I'm ready to continue. See, I like this though. Yeah, 1500. This is what I wish we had in Run 8 though, as a switcher. I like those. I don't know why, I just do. Yeah, I just do. I think it would be kind of nice. Alright, to couple the boxcar, simply approach it at a low speed and give it a gentle nudge. Take care, excessive speed may cause damage to valuable freight or even the boxcar itself. Well, that's true. Alright, and it looks like the switches are, yep, the arrow's going that way, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. Now we're dealing with freight. We don't want like crystal chandeliers all over the place. Regardless of what's in the boxcar, or what industry, you got to think that it's nothing but crystal. All crystal glasses stacked on top of each other. They're not packaged, they're not wrapped in bubble wrap, anything like that. So, and typically, just like what I try to do in Railroader, Run 8, and I'll do the same thing here. Try to approach at about 3 miles. Well, anything less than 5 is usually good, but if I can do 3 or less, it's even better. Alright, that pling means I've already completed what I needed to complete, and now I'm going to back up through this waypoint and over to there. So we're going to go ahead and back up. And back up, we're just going to grab the dial and turn it to counterclockwise, to the left. See, this is the guy I was talking about. Look at that. He looks like he's undead. We got Walking Dead running the train. I don't even know who his name is. I really don't care. Of course, it looks like we're out in the country. Well, not so much. Look at that. This guy's moving around. I like this. These assets are pretty cool. They add life. What the heck? Dark rum? Nice. So, my only complaint about Trainz is that you never really know if you are getting a quality mod. There are a lot of old mods that look bad in the current versions of the game. Yeah, I mean that's the one thing that I'm kind of leery on, and I know that there was a streamer that I've been following that he does Run8, but he also does Trainz, and I think he's doing Railroader now as well too. And I've kind of questioned him about this particular simulator. And, you know, he said, you know, it's like, my first thing was like, oh, it's all scenario based. Like I'm doing tutorials of scenarios. There we go. Okay, switch to junction. Okay, I can't see because it's underneath that tag. But anyway, okay, so now we're going to go forward. But anyway, but he had a whole lot of content that when he brought it over from 19 to 22, it converted. So, and it converted just fine, and based upon his streams, looks just fine too. But he also did have some that did not convert, and those happen to be a couple of like his favorite. Yeah, and he was going to work on that. So, the point that you're making there, my point to it is, when you go to purchase a DLC for Trainz, make sure it is alright. Make sure that it's for 2022 or 2019. Because 2019 is still out there and it still looks pretty good, but there's some improvements between 2019 and 2022 from what I've seen. And if I'm going to drop money on a new simulator that's train based, you know me and Trainz, the couple button is one of the buttons above the speed control dial at lower right. Click it and you'll see a red coupler icon. Click the red icon and decouple. So he's talking about this right here. There's the red icon. Train, Hostler, switching experience, make 10 switching moves. What is this? Oh. Did I just get, I think I just got a, because I've been goofing around with it, so I think I just got a Steam tag or whatever you call those things. An achievement, that's it, an achievement. Next you'll be moving the boxcars from track 2 over to the warehouse track, move back until clear of the junction, and stop the locomotive at the stop nav point. Well, that's pretty much, you know, so far we just know that this is all basic stuff. Question that I'm having already in these tutorials are, you going to show me how to set the brakes on these? Because that's good roll. Maybe down the line. This is all basic and it keeps adding upon itself, so. Alright, we're going to switch. There we go. Switch junction PO2 and junction PO4. Okay, now we're going to go up and connect to those boxes. I got you. I got you. So referring to the free mods available through Trainz software. I bought on Steam, and now you raise a good point. Because I bought 2022 on Steam, so I'm on the 2022 page. Assuming that the developers are the ones that set that page up. There's a lot of mods that are free. Not there are many more than you have to pay for, but there are mods that are free. And so I would assume, going through Steam on that particular page where I purchased Trainz 2022, that those mods would work with this without a problem. I've always, and I learned this a long time ago. I mean, this is just me. It goes back to the days when I played Farming Simulator a lot, especially 2017 and 2019, but mostly in 2017 is where I learned this. There's the in-game mod hub in Farming Simulator. There is an external mod hub. Okay, you can now pull the boxcars clear of the junction leading to the warehouse track, pull the boxcars back and stop the locomotive at the stop nav point. And that's back there. Okay. But going back to Farming Sim and what I'm trying to equate it to is that the there's like an internal mod hub, an external mod hub, and then there were other places you could go and get DLCs from, and those other places taught me, number one, have a really good antivirus program, and I have a very good one now, and I use it, and then also not only use it, but I also swear by Malwarebytes. So I caught a virus from one of those sites that completely jacked my system up, and if it hadn't have been for Malwarebytes, I would probably have to redo my entire hard drive and lose everything that I have. Malwarebytes got it back, removed the virus, and it just taught me that that's, you know, going to, well, be careful about what sites you go to is what I'm trying to say, is where I'm trying to get to. So I know Trainz, I think, is one. I mean, there's a lot of sites. There are. But since I bought this off of Steam, the way I'm looking at it is that if I buy the DLCs through Steam, or get the free ones from the free DLCs from Steam, then they should work with 2022, should not have any issues like viruses, and worth the money for me to purchase. Anywhere else, if I go to an external website, and I know that there's some that have been mentioned, and I think even they're mentioned in here, and as I was kind of doing a cursory look around for everything, they're kind of mentioned here, but just be wary, be very wary. Congratulations. Okay, so that's how we switch. Very easy, easily done. I'm still asking the question, how do we go ahead and set the brakes on these? Oh, wait a minute, I wonder if I'm hovering on it, hold control, right click, drive train, move train, get train, couple, decouple, drive scheduled, drive schedule, halt train, load, navigate to track, okay, notify, run around, unload, wait for, oh, interesting, assign the player, okay. Then I saw something else. I don't know. I saw something and I ran into it the other day and I don't know. So anyway, okay. So what's my score? I get 5 stars. I am awesome. Next tutorial. But that, yeah, I guess going back, that's just ultimately my point. Is just be very wary. Don't go to, hey, Bob's Trainz website, because you don't know. You don't know. So, and that Norfolk Southern pack, or pack or DLC, whatever, it gives you a Norfolk Southern engine. That was on Steam's site. So anyway, okay, so going on. Next tutorial is often during a session you'll be required to load and unload freight at points along the way. In this tutorial you'll be loading lumber at the mill for delivery to another industry. You may start your train slowly forward, then when ready. Got a yellow over a red. Alright, well, I'm assuming my switches are set. It didn't say anything about it. Oh, I got that little load symbol, arrow pointing at the car. Okay, I get it. Stop at the nav point to load lumber. It's different. Yeah, I mean, I like it because I have incremental, better control over it. Especially like if I was doing a passenger. If you go too fast, it's rough handling. W increments in 5% increments. X decreases by 5%. And a lot of times, especially for passengers, I would get like a little notification up here, rough handling. So and that's why the dial, just clicking on the dial. But as you can see, depending on where I have my cursor, it's just going to click right up. So gotta be careful with that. But that gave me the idea that if I can get if there's a way to take like a DCC style controller with a dial like this that would interface with your PC to control your trains with buttons on there to flip switches and all that, or everything else that we would need, I think it'd be pretty cool. W, we'll just go forward W, and then when we get up here, I mean, it's freight, who cares, right? No, it's a caboose. And then S to come to a stop, but it's not a sudden stop. But it's kind of it's not as slow as I would like it. Okay, lumber successfully loaded. You can now proceed to the St. Nicholas yard. The path has been set for you. Proceed forward. Okay, we're a 40-mile-an-hour track, so we're gonna go 40 miles an hour. Punch it. Give it the beans. You know what? Yesterday when I was goofing around with this, this is one that's like, usually I just dive into a program and I start playing with stuff to figure it out. And this one's like, you know what? I got questions. Let me run through the tutorials. Maybe my questions will be answered through the tutorials. I played with the bell. Horn can use I know it's if the train has ditch lights equipped, you can turn the lights on and off. Sand, change the direction, whether forward is forward or forward is reverse. So kind of played around with some stuff, Hank, but yeah, no, it's not bad. I mean, it's mostly what you get Surveyor 2 with the Platinum Edition. That's mostly what I wanted to play around with, because I've got some ideas rolling around in my head for my actual, one day I will have my model railroad. Slow down a little bit. Although this is a nice little layout that we're running around here. The middle dot on the far right bottom. Oh, this one? No, I haven't played with this at all. Forward. See, this would be nice. Yeah, I haven't played with, yeah, so I saw it, clicked on it, cycled through it, but I haven't played with it. How do I go to stop? Oh well. This is literally, I'm not even 24 hours into this, how new this is. I'm within, let's see, it is 11 o'clock my time. And I didn't get back from buying the monitor and other things. I finally, oh, if you noticed, well, you don't see it through the stream, but I also had to go, when I bought the monitor, I bought Windows 11 key. So that issue is now resolved. Hopefully system's a little more stable, because I noticed one little thing in their wording that bothered me. And it was when I read through every single word that, hey, you need to activate your copy of Windows 11, and here's the wording: to prevent interruptions. And I was under the suspicion that they were doing that. The other day when I had the power outage and the stream stopped abruptly at the end, I think that might have been coincidental, because after I read that, and I've had that issue before where all of a sudden especially after I put in the new video card, all of a sudden my card the driver just quit. It's not the driver quitting, because every time I come back, it's the driver's been kind of not uninstalled, but it has been deactivated for what Windows thinks it should have. And when I go to reactivate it, oh no, that driver is not compatible with your current card, although it is. The driver says it's for my card. I had to actually go and reinstall that driver. And so that was some of the issues I was having the other day. So I think the interruptions are planned. Put it that way. I think the interruptions are a planned interruption when you have a deactivated copy of Microsoft Windows. So that being said, I'm now activated. I actually paid a little extra too. Not only did I get the activation key, but I also got the thumb drive that came with it. So I've got my repair thumb drives and my antivirus thumb drives, and then I've got, which are all bootable, and then I've got the thumb drive for Windows, so if I ever have to redo things. And honestly thinking about doing it, kind of redoing and getting rid of, well, I was going to say get rid of the spinning platter, but I have a 4 terabyte one in there, and Lord of the Rings Online does not like SSD, whether it likes the M.2 drives or my SSD drives. It doesn't like those. It wants the spinning platter. So fine, we'll go spinning platter. Track profile display below provides information on the road ahead, such as speed limits, signals, and gradients. Click on the settings icon in above the driver portrait to enable or disable current elements as desired. Track profile settings. Oh, okay, so let's hover on it. This is toggle driver message display. Junctions. Wow, can I change junctions? Maybe not. That'd be pretty. I don't know. Anyway, junctions, speed signs. Okay, it's pretty cool. Things to play with. So this is what we're talking about down here. It is 30 miles, 30 miles, 20 miles. Gradients. I like the gradients, how it kind of raises and lowers and tells you what the percentage is. We got some 3% grade, almost 3%, 2.5%. 0.4%, 5/10. almost 0.5%, a little over almost 6%, you know. So, not bad. I think we're going to be coming in. I'm going to slow down. Big front of me. Yep. Now it said 30 miles. This is where it's misleading. 30 miles here. If you come in too fast into a yard, you just need to know most of your yards are going to be 10 to 15 miles an hour. So I'm just going to come in, roll in at about 10 miles an hour into the yard. For me, the game is not jumpy, so it might be the stream. Let me take a look and see what OBS is telling me. I have dropped a few frames, not a lot. So that's typical internet. I'll go back and I'll rewatch it again. But yeah, no, actually it's been playing pretty solid, so I don't know, is it jumpy all the time or is it just intermittently? Ping, there goes the waypoint. The lumber is required at MISO 58 traction SA, so we need to move this switch. Alright, the lumber, okay, marked by the unload sign, that's over there. Switch junction S16, then reverse your train slowly into the siding and stop at the nav point. Okay. Ditch lights. Alright, lights off. Okay, lights on. Yeah, I don't know why. I like these little switchers. It was SW1500s, I think is what they were. 1501, so maybe, yeah. So, a little Run8 news. All my industries are configured. All of my industries are configured. So, now it's a matter of, this is the hard part. I've saved the hardest for last, is I have to go to the interchanges, all my interchange now, and, well, in the spreadsheet, it's going to be, alright, I'm going to come to a stop here, and we're unloaded. Congratulations. Alright, so talk about Run8 for a minute. So all the industries on my map are configured. So I have 5 different locations where locals are running out of. And some of those locations, like Selkirk, I think has like 3 or 4 has 4 different locals. The Wit has 3, the rest have maybe 1 or 2. And now it's just the interchange tracks. So my plan is the first interchange at Finger Lakes, trains will come in there, and then they're going to get randomly re-tagged for other interchanges. So and I haven't decided. I'm rolling the dice. I got my little D&D dice out. I'm rolling the dice, and it's going to be more than likely that they're going to get rolled out, and it'll be like DeWitt Yard, and I'm going to have a track in the DeWitt yard as an industry for locals. I don't know, somehow, but I want Finger Lakes to reroute the cars to the other interchanges, and then the other interchanges will retag the cars for the different locals, and then from there the cars would go on to Selkirk and get sorted and then sent back. So I'm trying to create car flow. I don't know if that's too much car flow or not enough. You know, I mean, yeah, I could bring in supply trains. As cars leave, I'm going to have to bring supply trains in. And I already talked about that. The supply trains are so long that I'm going to pretty much have supply trains come in for cars for all the industries. So all the locals are going to get cars coming in. So, and they'll come in from the east and from the west. But I'm still trying to work out. I'm going to take my laptop with me when I go to work today. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to try to work on, you know, piece of paper and whatever else to try to work on how I want the locals to flow, what I wanted to do, because this is like maybe a little bit more difficult than just working on the industries. Curious if you plan to build in that manner or more realistic like your... Wait, what? Did you by chance see the video on Discord, Trainz 22 model railway build? I didn't see that. No, I did not. I'll take a look at that, Hank. Curious if you plan on to build in that manner or more realistic like what you're currently playing on. It starts rough. I've been watching some other videos of people, you know, building their virtual model railroad, and in Surveyor, I think you want to put down, well, typically what do you do in a model railroad? You build your bench work first. Obviously, you got to have some place for the tracks to run on. And in that phase, you're planning your what your elevations are going to be, and how steep they're going to be, and how where they're going to go. And you should have, even before you start construction on your bench work, there are guys that you can go to, and that's what their little side hustle is that you send them, I have this much space, this is kind of what I want to do, and they'll design your layout for you. And they design the layout, they design the bench work, they design everything, then you just got to build it. Well, I'm not gonna go that route, that extensive, but I'm gonna play with the Surveyor and start with the track, and then I'm gonna, okay, this is ultimately what I want. Then I gotta raise it up here, lower it here, and then once that's done, then I'm gonna build the scenery. That's what you do in a model railroad. You build the scenery around it, and place your industries and do that accordingly. So that's what I'm thinking in my mind. I don't know how it's going to play out, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And I mean, apparently there is an extensive amount of assets out there for trains when you go to build a layout like this. All right, how much time we got? We've been doing this for about an hour. I think one more tutorial and I might just call it. 11 o'clock, game. I gotta be there by 1. Yeah. So I think I got time for one more tutorial. We're back to Southern Pacific again. All right. Some help with safe working. This is the one I was goofing with last night. I noticed that you watch the fans, you actually might start seeing them turn as we start moving forward. But anyway, on North American Railroad, signals are usually placed on the right-hand side of the track. A red signal means danger, it is not safe to enter the block ahead. I knew that. It's red right there. This is for the dwarf signals here for this track. Alright. Okay. Green is clear, proceed. Clear signal means it's safe to proceed, and the line is clear for at least 2 blocks ahead. You may now start your train forward. Okay. like the sound of that. Yeah, this fan's turning right here. This one doesn't appear to be near as this one. I think I remember correctly, it's like ramp up. You'll see this one start to turn faster, then this one will start to turn based on the needs of the airflow across the radiator. Yeah, I had to say that. Oh, this one back here is too. Wasn't running a minute ago. All right. Now we're coming to 30 mile an hour and a yellow light up ahead, looking at this right here. Track profile. Alright, we have an approach caution clear to stop. A yellow signal means the next signal is currently red. A fast moving or heavy train takes time to slow down. You may need to adjust your speed to be able to stop at the next signal if we need to stop. And since this is Pacific, that means these are Union Pacific lines. I'm not sure what the rule is, but I think it's track speeds at 50% for a yellow light. Let me see. We'll figure this one out. I happen to have it right here. Oh, that's CSX. Do I have the Union Pacific one? Nope, don't have it printed, so I'll look at CSX. Oh, that's fun. That one. Okay, advance approach. And advance approach. No faster than 30 miles an hour, what it says here. So, not sure what. I'll have to print out the one for Union Pacific. Well, look, a stop. Interesting though, it's showing the light is yellow. dropping a little bit of frame, but not a lot. Not a lot. Oh, I got an error. This whole thing, I'm going to have to reboot the system, but okay, let's get to a stop here. Another freight train is currently occupied a block ahead. Wait for the train to train ahead to clear the block. Okay, waiting for this light to turn right here. Oh, this is interesting. CSX. No, I didn't do this, but oh well. Okay, escape. Get back to mine. Where's my tracks? There. Remember, yellow means the next signal is red. Proceed on yellow signal. Alright, here we go. I'll take a look at that video though, Hank. I wonder if that's the same one that I looked at. There was somebody out of Europe that I was looking at that was trying to build, of course he was building a European railway. But there was a really interesting one that I did find, and I want to try, when I do my build, I want to do this one video that I found that is, they basically put out the baseboard. Then they went to the area they wanted to model, found the railroad tracks, and took Google Earth and put it over the baseboard. And it's about a 5 or 6 step process to do it, but it basically puts it on, so you put Google Earth on there, and then you just start putting down your assets, what you see on the baseboard by what you see on the image from Google Earth. If you're trying to build something like an area realistic, that's a pretty cool thing. That's a pretty cool way of doing it, so I might experiment with that too. Now the other side too, just to let you know, you're asking about where it's choppy. I've actually been watching it because like my monitor is my iPad. My iPad is actually connected, and I do this on purpose, it's connected by Wi-Fi. And it's smooth as well too. So now whether it's getting its feed like from my computer that right through the router back, or but since I'm watching it through YouTube, I'm assuming that it's, you know, that's my feed going to YouTube and then coming from YouTube to my monitor, and I haven't seen it. It's pretty clear, pretty sharp, and I haven't seen any stuttering. I've seen videos like that, but the one I reference is modeled like it is in the person's basement. I've seen that one. I've seen some images like that too, where you see the legs for the bench work and stuff, and that one's that, and it's like, okay, you can walk around, and so yeah, it's interesting styles. I'm leaning more, if I was going to do it, I'm leaning more to something like this. But you can tell when you look at the map, I mean, you can, I'm trying to, it won't move for me now, but you can kind of, oh, it's following the train, that's why. Jane, there's Jane. But, yeah, it's a closed, folded dog bone, I think is what they call that. They call this layout. So when you're actually playing on it, it looks like an enclosed world. It's part of the world, but really all you're going to do is just keep. If I was going to run this, it would just keep looping around and around and around. So either or. I mean, we'll see. But it's an interesting simulator. I'm not hating it. The HUD in the lower screen displays a gradient profile track. Here you can see your train position relative to the signals ahead and also the current state of the signals you are approaching. Yeah, okay. We're approaching a green, and I can see a green in the distance right there. I need to change my cursor as well too. For streaming, yep. I wonder how hard it would be, or if you can, build your model railroad here and then print something out going, okay, here you go, build it in real life. Now, since I got a green, I'm going to ramp this baby up. Oh. This seems to be turning faster. This one's turning, and that one's turning. So they do kind of like, this one is not turning. Interesting. Well, that's actually really throaty. I think it almost wants me, you know, I got some basic speakers. I'm listening to the sound on these locomotives, and even for Run8, I think it's time to get some subwoofers. All right. 30-mile-an-hour zone coming up, so start ramping it down a little bit. I blow the horn for the tunnel. I just don't like the horn. I have no idea why we're looking at a map. I think it's because we went to the tunnel, maybe. I don't know. I didn't hit anything. I actually took my hands off the controls. So 30 miles an hour. I have to admit, I like the textures inside the tunnel here. In Railroader, the tunnels, it's like you're just going into a black hole. There's no ground other than the tracks going through it, and then it's just pure pitch black walls. I mean, if there is any kind of texturing, it's hard to see. Alright, jumping around because we're out of the tunnel now, but we got signpost says 50 miles. Is it going to change right away? No. So an increase of speed is after the last car passes. Alright, we have a yellow. So even if it jumps up to 50, I'm going to go ahead and keep the speed where it's at. It's at 50 miles an hour now. whistle here. And we got a stop up ahead, so I'm actually going to that might be the program. Sounds look like they're cutting in and out. Hey, Armadar, what's up? I just got Trainz today, still working it all out. Same here, buddy. I am within my first 24 hours. I bought it yesterday afternoon. I mean, that sale on Steam was just something I couldn't pass up. So Hank and I, though, our main simulator. If you haven't looked at it, and there's a link to it in my description. Take a look at Run8. Run8 is extremely realistic as far as the physics for Trainz go. Modeling, it's not as artistic as what this is, but it's all about the trains. They want me to stop right up there where that hand's at. Oh, you got Run8 too? Awesome. Nice. There's links on there too if you're not playing on it. Highly recommend the Mateo server for Southern California. High Green server for the Southeast Florida, depending on what DLCs you have. And then there's I know there's going to be a couple of new servers coming online that will be kind of I don't want to say it's associated, but those guys I know are working out how to send trains from one DLC, in other words, say from Florida, and have that same exact consist show up and say like Southern California. So that's something that's in the works right now, and so far there seems to be some success, although it's not as automatic as what they would like, but it works. And so for those of you that have been following my Run8 channel, yeah, that's actually going to be, like I said, my industries are all configured now. I just got to configure the interchange yards, and once that's done, I'm done. I think the configuration side of it, other than putting in the tags for the supply trains to come into Selkirk so they get routed correctly, that'd be the final step. And once that's done, then I think my configuration's done, and I'm ready for rail operations in the Mohawk-Selkirk region, northeast United States, New York area to be exact. So I've got some good videos. If you don't use them, off of Run8, especially on the external consist editor, very, very useful to use. The external assistant for Run8, highly recommend that. Set that up so that it loads into your system tray when you load Run8, and it unloads from the system tray when you close out Run8. All you need to do is just hit the F4 key to go into the smaller window, and then you can get in, pull up the system tray. You can get into all the documentation. It saves your backup configurations. I mean, it has a lot of tools, Just explore that for Run8. And I've got a video on that as well too. What time do I have? I got to be working in like an hour and a half. So this will be the last tutorial. Then this will be part 1. I'll do a part 2 later on. I don't have anything tomorrow. But I do have a couple, I have to go to work a couple of times next week. Next week's my last week off of work, and I gotta go back to work. Alright, yellow coming up. Kind of running. I have the what do you want to call it, the light menu, or the light, what the lights mean for CSX. I gotta go print out the one for Union Pacific, because if it's a Southern Pacific locomotive, that's got to be on the Union Pacific line. Approach medium, clear to medium. Yellow over green indicates you must approach the next signal at no more than 30 miles an hour, as you would be taking the diverging path on a turnout. I don't like going that fast on turnout. Even on a main line, it makes me nervous when you can maintain track speed. I just feel like that much tonnage is going to want to go straight. Medium clear. Red over green indicates that it is safe to proceed at no more than 30 miles an hour until the entire train has passed through the turnouts. So here's lighting on this particular layout that confused me when I did this. I got 3 reds, and which means that those lines are that's a stop. That's a hard stop. Maybe not. Actually, there's no signage on. I'll have to look that one up. All right, let's go ahead and slow this down even more. I'm okay at about 10. Just no more than 10 miles an hour. Sound's cutting out. That's software. Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up. I'll look it up so people want to see what kind of. Now it says track speed 30. Coming in at 30 miles an hour into a yard, yeah, kind of frowned upon. This says no more than 30, so it's about, I guess, it's about safe trade and handling and awful lot of tonnage. I sent that 10,000 ton train out of the other Selkirk yard. There's the Rocky Mountaineer. So far, I've only got 2 stars. Why do I only have 2 stars? Congratulations, you've completed this tutorial. 4 stars? That's it? And click the replay button and retry the session beginning and exit. 4 stars. I got robbed. I got robbed. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem clear. I mean, when you're running through the tutorials, that was the previous tutorial, was going into an industry and having it load up the car. And this was a flat car loaded up with lumber. Then we ran around the track to another industry and unloaded it. But yeah, once you know, I guess it's a lot. There's a lot of, I'll call it layouts. There are a lot of layouts for, you know, for Trainz. Pick one that you really enjoy. And then just figure it out. And it's the same thing like with Run8. You figure out which ones you like you like the most. Like here's industries, that one, tutorial 4, industry. So to get to tutorials, just come up here to types and tutorials, and it brings you to this page, tutorials. And we just did signals, and then there's objectives. That's the next one we'll do, and that's where I'll start off with. So we got the first 5 tutorials done. I can see easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go out of the 10. So part 2 will be tutorials 5 through 10. And depending on what time I get back, I may be back tonight, it may be tomorrow. But we'll get through this, and we'll at least have a couple of videos on tutorials for Trainz 2022 Platinum Edition. So other than that, thanks for doing it. Of course, typically I'm going to say the same thing as always. If you like the content that I'm putting out and you think that it's going to help you out, click that subscribe button. Give me a like, helps my analytics, and do the notifications so that way you know when I'm coming online or when I've posted a new video. Otherwise, I want to thank everybody for here. Hank, catch you later, buddy. And Armadar, thank you for chatting with me here, and thank you. And come on in. I mean, we'll do some Run8. We'll meet you up on either High Green or the Mateo server. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. This is TheLazyFarmer. My name is Kurt H. Have a great afternoon.